Good evening. I'm attempting to do a duo. I am doing Facebook Live as well as recording on Zoom. This is my first attempt at zooming into Facebook Live. It may be an epic fail, but not really, because I am able to do both. Oh, you don't need to see my camera. Okay, I'm gonna exit full screen. Well, good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I guess it would have helped if I would have put the Zoom link in there, which I didn't do. Didn't put the Zoom link in there, but that's okay. That is okay. Good evening to anyone who is out there. I know it's an evening challenge, and I wanted to do something a little different this time. Getting that backlight out of the way. Wanted to do something a little different this time. Hello, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Kathy Cross Reese. My business name is Kathy Cross, and that's why a lot of people know me as Kathy Cross, because that is my maiden name and it's also my business name. Hello, whoever is joining. I am still figuring out the technology of using two different platforms. My goal is to integrate 3 platforms. So by the end of this challenge, I'll have Facebook, Zoom, and YouTube fully integrated into one platform. So welcome to day 1 of the free 5-day Rookie Realtor Challenge. And if you are able to, I don't know if you're looking at Facebook or if you're looking at Zoom, but if you could just put in a comment in the comment box to let me know the answer to this question. Are you a rookie realtor, or are you someone who is looking to get into this industry, or just share just a little bit about who you are? And while you're doing that, even if this is on the recording, you can come back and answer that question. Just where are you in the spectrum? Are you new to the industry as a rookie realtor, or are you in another business thinking about transitioning into this business? Or have you been in this business for a while and you're feeling stagnant and just need a fresh perspective? Well, if the answer is yes to any of those questions, then you are in the right place. And I want to tell you a little story about myself to start out. I came into the business after leaving the military in 1994. And that was during the time that they offered the early out in the military. I took advantage of that and did not have a backup plan. I got out of the military after purchasing my first house 30 days prior. So to say I didn't have a plan, I didn't have a plan. Okay. I started in 1994 as I was right in the process of working on my master's degree. So I had a bachelor's, but not quite a master's. Didn't really see too many options as far as employment. And having just purchased my first home, I thought, okay, real estate, that's something I never really did, but I enjoyed looking at homes. I enjoyed showing people homes. I enjoyed just kind of the HGTV junkie, but not really. I just like art. I like colorful things. I'm just, as you can probably see, I like colorful things. I'm usually wearing color, so if that gives you some indication. So that's what kind of got me started. It was the sense that I needed to do something. I found myself as a single parent at that time in 1994, getting out. I thought, okay, the guy that sold me the house, he was a very nice guy, but he didn't seem like he worked that hard. It just seemed so casual and so free. I did not really know what went on behind the scenes, and that's why you get a chance to talk to me about what's happening behind the scenes. So I'll continue on as I looked at what he was doing, and I purchased my first house. I didn't really have much information on the financing piece. I just knew I needed to get a loan. I didn't understand an adjustable rate from a fixed rate. I did not know any of that. And you would think someone who's been in the military for 10 years, traveled all around the world would know that. Someone who has a parent or parents at the time who purchased property, owned property, had investment property, you would think that I would know, but I did not. And so if you're just joining, just remember I'm sharing with you my story as we start out this rookie realtor venture together. You too have a story. We all have a story. But as I started out, I found out very quickly that it wasn't as easy as I thought. In fact, I'll share with you my very first lesson being a rookie realtor. I learned my very first lesson is that you need a mentor. You need someone in your corner, an advocate, someone who is looking out for your best interests, things that the tripwires, the things that you could stumble into. And technically, by law, if you are a rookie realtor, your managing broker or designated broker is responsible for everything you do. Now, you're responsible, you take personal responsibility for what you do. However, if you have a managing broker or designated broker and you've been in the business for 2 years or less, they are responsible for every single thing you do. Okay, I see that I need to admit. Okay, they are responsible for every single thing you do. So that is my very, very first lesson, is that I needed a mentor. And actually, you can have a mentor by choice, or someone can direct someone over you, such as a managing or designated broker. I prefer the choice because there's a lot of people in the industry that you might not want to emulate. There's people in the industry that you do want to emulate. And this course is to help you decide which direction you want to go, whether you want to stay in this industry and get this jump start, because a lot of people make assumptions that because you're in real estate, you make a lot of money. Now, there is a potential for wealth in this industry, but it's not. I'd say 20% of the brokers or realtors or agents make, let me say this right, 20% of the brokers are doing 80% of the business. And out of that 20%, there's probably only 5 to 10% that are very successful at it. And when I say very successful at it, I mean at least 6 figures or more. When I started as a rookie realtor, my very first year, if you can guess in the chat before I even say it, how much I made in my very first year of real estate. I'll give you a hint. It's less than 1 commission that I get today. I made that in a whole year. So when you're starting out, it's very important to have a mentor. So that first year, just to give you an exact number, I made $9,128 in my first year. Now, granted, that was in 1994, from 94 to 95. That was my first year. It was terrible. It was terrible because I did not really look for mentors. And I just put my nose to the grindstone and thought, okay, they're giving me a couple of tools that I can use. I'm going to take those tools, I'm going to run with it because I know what I'm doing. Now, anytime you enter into a new industry or a new career choice, it's very important to look around at those around you and find the ones that are successful. When you find the successful brokers, the successful realtors, those are the ones that you want to align yourself with. As far as those that have integrity, those that are doing things right, those that are out building relationships, meeting people. Sorry, my phone is ringing right in the midst of this. That's the life of a realtor. Distractions, distractions. And so that's my story. I started out in 1994 after leaving the military. My first house I purchased was 30 days prior to getting out of the military. I received my license 30 days after getting out of the military. So within that 60 days, I had purchased a home, left the military, all of those things happening. So you too have a story. So whatever is happening in your life that brought you here today, know that you are not alone and you can learn from others. I believe that is the best tool, is to learn from others. And so the first action step I would say for you is to find a mentor. If you're in the business and you've been in it for a while, there's people, they don't even have to be in your community. Because we have this virtual world, you can find mentors all over the world. You can go online and find out who's successful, who's working with certain groups of people. That's the other thing I didn't know when I started. You don't know what you don't know. I did not know that you can choose who you want to work with. I thought you had to work with everybody. Well, you don't. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting these messages because I wrote an offer today. And I am seeing the response from the broker. Lots of responses. Okay. Let's see. Let's get out of this so I can see you. Okay, now I'm back. Sorry about that. You don't know what you don't know is what I was leading to. I did not know that you can choose who you want to work with. I started out working with for sale by owners because I heard that for sale by owners are in need of brokers, in need of a person to work with to do business with. I can kind of see the comments are kind of fading. I will get this. There we go. Now I can see. Yay! Hi, Shandorse. Now I can see the comments. I just figured out. Like I said, you don't know what you don't know. I see you put 4K. Wow. I made a lot, well, not a lot more, just a little bit more than that. But that was your guess. I'm glad I'm able to see the comments now. But yeah, you don't know what you don't know. And I did not know that you can choose who you want to work with. I started working with for sale by owners. If you don't know what for sale by owners are, for sale by owners are, okay, I have some people joining in Zoom and some on Facebook. I will figure out how to manage both platforms and actually integrate them together. Like I said, that's my goal. So you don't know, I did not know that I could choose who I wanted to work with. I knew clients get to choose who they want to work with. They can shop, but I did not know that you can choose who you want to work with. And that is the best feeling, to be able to work with people that appreciate you, your services, and you work with them. Have you ever been in a situation where you're providing a service to someone and they are either ungrateful or disrespectful or just downright mean or downright nasty or any of the above? I continue to work with clients and customers that I did not want to work with in my early years because it was a feast or famine for me. I was a single parent and I thought, okay, I need to provide for this baby because there's no one else out there at the time to help. So that was my motivation. The question is, what is your motivation? Your motivation might be, I enjoy this industry. I'm interested in this industry, and that's great. But you need something that's going to keep you in this industry. And I don't want to digress from what I was saying as far as you get to choose who you want to work with. Now I get to choose who I want to work with. If I get someone that's called in on a property and they're interested in it, it happens to be my listing, I can work with them for my seller, but I don't have to enlist them to be my client, to be an advocate for them. That's what I mean. You get to choose. You get to choose who you want to work with. I've gone on listing appointments before. Great house. I would have loved to sell the home, but there was no what's the right word, chemistry between us. And I felt that that client would be better served, or that customer would be better served by someone else. And that's okay. That is okay. You get to choose. Now, in the beginning, you may feel you can't be choosy because you want to get your first deal. You want to get your first piece of business, right? But you do get to be as choosy as you want to. Okay, let me look at the chat now and see. Okay, was on your own or with company then? Okay, I started out with a company called ERA Delta Real Estate. They were actually the first to use online technology, and they were the very first to do everything virtual. They were doing everything virtual before it was virtual, and I was almost 30 years ago, 27 years ago. And after they started, then a company called Remax started doing a lot of online stuff. But ERA Delta Real Estate was kind of like a mom and pop shop. It was a very wholesome family sort of environment, and I really enjoyed working with them. I ended up becoming part owner and grew into that company until I decided to leave because I was owners with 13 other people. I loved being in the family so much that I made mistakes. And that's what you get to learn from me. You get to learn, when you start out in business, it's probably not a good idea to own the real estate company until you really know how real estate works. I jumped right into ownership because the owners at that time wanted to sell the company and move on. And I don't know about you, but I thought slavery went out a long time ago, so I was not about to be sold to another company. We collectively purchased the company from those owners, and 7 years later, I joined Remax and brokered a deal with the brokers that were with the company because there were only a few brokers that were actually productive. So that is the answer to your question about what company it was. So it was ERA Delta. Then I went to Remax. I was with Remax for 12 years. And now in 2012, back in 2012, I opened my own company, which is Imagine Real Estate, which is where I'm sitting right now. This is my office right now. I had to come in here because it's kind of noisy at home, and I didn't think you would want to hear all of those distractions. Although one of these nights I may Zoom from home and go live from home so you can see. Real estate is a full-time business. It's full-time in a sense that you get to incorporate the business into your life. And what I mean by that is a lot of the people that I work with become friends, very good friends of mine. And that's the part about this business I love. So what other business can you do that the people you serve can become your friends? And not just friends, but friends for life. They continue to come back, they continue to consult, they can continue to ask questions. So it's on a professional as well as a personal level. So that is my story for beginning. So tonight I'd like to share with you a tool that, well, actually I'm going to sort of share with you one tool, but I'm going to talk about it in a clarity perspective, okay? Work with me here. The tool that I want to share with you is called a database. When I started in the business, I did not know what a database was. I thought it was some resource that I go to and I find out information. A database is your ticket to your future. It's your own clientele, your own prospects. It's all yours. So the lesson that I did not learn at the very, very beginning, probably not for 10 years or more, that I learned that database, or my clients, my customers, my prospects, that is my ticket to my future, because I can look at that and I could use that. I can stay in contact with people And lo and behold, real estate is cyclical. The same names come around again. People relocate, they move, life events happen. I've worked with people probably, let's see, I've been in business 27 years. I've actually worked with people sometimes 5, 6, 7 times because of life circumstances where they left, they came back, they invested, all those different things. So one person can lead to multiple transactions. And so when I say database, what I'm saying is those contacts are yours, and you can start out your business that way. That's what I would suggest. Start out your business with that database. And the database consists of three things. Three things. And you want to guess what those are? Three things in your database. If you're able to respond either, let's see, I have two different things going on. Okay, a database, since I don't see a response, a database consists of three things. The first thing is a name, second is a phone number, and the third is an email address. Do you notice on your phone that you get calls from random people about random things? Maybe if you're a homeowner, you might get a call about, do you want to sell your house? Or you may get a call if you've ever searched the internet on any particular topic. All of a sudden you'll get a call out of the blue. Well, the way that works is anytime you mention something on the internet, on the web, there's information collectors out there, if you will, and they collect that information and they sell it to third parties. Like you're on this Zoom right now, Zoom, or you're on Facebook. Now, Facebook is probably one of the top collectors of information. If you notice, it'll say, do you allow, do you allow, do you allow? If you say no, 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 then they can't collect that information. But if you say, okay, I allow, then Facebook has a way to collect that information and use that information and share that information with others. And that can work to your advantage, especially in real estate. If you're looking to build your clientele, build your database, if you're starting out, this is the best vehicle to use. And you want to put the word out there that you're looking for buyers, looking for sellers, whatever it is, because then that information starts coming back to you. It's like the law of reciprocity. And so that is the tool that I want to share with you, your database. So start now. Even if you're not in the business right now, start now. Who do you know that either wants to buy a home or needs to sell a home? Who do you know that just got married? Who do you know that has lost a loved one? Who do you know that is growing a family? If you know anyone in those particular fields, then you know of someone that you can add to your database. You can also add people that are in your sphere of influence. I will share a short story on my first referral, if you will. When I got out of the military looking for business, I went to my insurance agent because I was getting my finances in order for the transition of being a civilian. And so the insurance broker said, well, what are you going to do now that you're out of the military? I said, I think I'm going to try this real estate thing. He said, oh, okay, so you're going to be a realtor? Or he said, agent. You're going to be an agent? I said, yeah, yeah, yeah. I said, who do you know that needs to buy a home or sell a home? He said, you know what? I just met with a couple that's looking to buy their first home. So he gave me their name, their phone number, and I'm not sure if he gave me their email address, but the name and the phone number was enough to get me started. So I took that information and I called them. I met with them, and at the time, we were all sellers agents. I know that probably sounds weird, but we were all sellers agents or sub-agents of the seller. So what that meant is any transaction that any buyer that was looking to buy a home, they did not have any representation. They were the brokers were all sub-agents of the seller. So that's all changed now. So that's probably immaterial. But what I would do getting my first client is I would do a buyer's agency agreement. Many brokers, seasoned brokers, don't want to do buyer agency agreements. They're afraid the buyer's going to run off and start working with other people. I say, let them run off because that will save me time. But everybody thinks a little different. But I would say get a buyer's agency agreement because you want to know if you're investing your time with someone who is going to reciprocate by purchasing or selling property, right? You don't want to invest a lot of time with someone, because I've done that many a times, invest a lot of time with someone that's going to say, oh, by the way, my sister, my brother, my cousin, my mother, my father is a broker, and they're going to do this purchase for me, or write this transaction for me, or sell this property for me, after you've done all the research, spent all the time. So that's important, to get a buyer agency agreement. So if you don't think that's important, it only takes a couple of times for you to kind of learn that by the School of Hard Knocks. I suggest not doing the School of Hard Knocks, but actually I'm looking for time here because I have two things on and I can't see what time it is. Maybe somebody could tell me what time it is. Let's see. So you don't want to do this by the School of Hard Knocks. Okay, I think I can see the time. That time can't be right. It's not 8:25, is it? Oh, here we go. Yes, it is. Let's see, I started at 8. Okay. Oh, thank you. 8:27. I'm looking at this other clock and it says 8:54, so thank you. I was thinking, wow, I didn't think I was talking that long. Okay, so now that we're about halfway through, I want to share this tool. It's called a clarity tool. I went through a course recently with, you might recognize that guy, Tony Robbins and Dean Grazioso. I went through a course with them, and I'm still going through the course right now, but I learned something very important. I think you can always learn something new. It doesn't matter if you've been in the industry a long time or not. So I want to share this tool with you. So the first one that I shared about the database, that came from me because that's the lesson I learned. The other lesson I learned is a mentor. It's very important to get a mentor, someone to look up to, someone to help you so that you don't trip over yourself, someone to help you so that you do things the right way, okay? So the tool that I want to share with you is called the Clarity tool. And what I will do is I will upload this tool for you, but I'm just going to kind of walk you through it so you have an idea of what I'm going to upload it for you to save onto your desktop or wherever you want to save it, and just kind of go through it. Take some time because this is a career decision. It's a life-changing decision. This is something that you want to invest your time into in order to reap the benefits that can come from it. So the first question on the clarity tool, excuse my French, my stumble, clarity tool. Okay, the first question, when you're dirt honest with yourself, what do you really want? So what do you really want? If you're really honest with yourself, what do you really want? Oftentimes, I think I know what I want, but when I sit in silence and really think about what I want, oftentimes it's different than what I think I want if I'm distracted or if I have a lot of noise. So one of the things that I've learned with the clarity tool, it's very important to get clear. In order to get clear, you need some time alone. I hear you. To be my own boss, Chandra say, be my own boss. And this business gives you that opportunity to be your own boss. Okay, the next question, where are you with your health? When I first answered that question, oh, I'm healthy, I'm fine. However, I'm a breast cancer survivor. I am a little bit overweight. Sometimes I'm out of breath walking up the stairs. So really, how's my health? I really need to check in and start consuming the right things in order to be healthy, in order to really be healthy, in order to say I'm healthy and actually be healthy, right? So where are you with your health? Where are you with your health? So just think about that. Where are you with your health? Again, I'm going to share this with you after. Next question, your finances. I know finances is a topic a lot of people don't like to share with anyone. I know I was raised that way. I didn't know what my parents had. I just knew when we had and when we didn't have. And I'm almost the same way with my kids. But it's important if you want to be financially wealthy that you teach your kids instead of giving it to your kids. And I've kind of learned that the hard way. So it's important for kids to understand where money comes from. It doesn't come from trees. To understand where money comes from. So I see the answer better than before. I like that. Better than before. I definitely want to be better than before. I want to grow and be financially independent. Actually, one of my goals is to be a philanthropist. I want to be able to give like the Gates give. I want to be able to do all of that stuff. Finance is good, but one income is too close to no income. So true. So true, so true. So I'm a believer in multiple streams of income. And in real estate, you have the opportunity for multiple streams of income. I digress a little bit on this, but we're still talking about finances. Multiple streams of income. You can have passive income from rental properties. You can have passive income from your investments. Some wealthy people get investment dividends. They live off their dividends. I mean, wouldn't that be great? So there's a lot of different streams. Some people are doing this Bitcoin or whatever this coin thing is. There's so many ways to generate additional income. So real estate, when you sell a home, you get a commission. That's one commission. Now, if you rented that same home, you'd get some money every month. That's what I call some stable real estate income. Whereas when you're in sales, sometimes sales are up and sometimes sales are down. And so learning to balance those finances in real estate is very important. Next question, where are you in your relationships? It's important to have people around you that are cheering you on, that want to see you succeed, and not people around you that are, pulling you down, saying, oh, you don't need to do that. So it's important to get that buy-in from your partner, your spouse. It's very important to have people on your team. My husband's my advocate. He puts my signs up for me. He doesn't mind if I get calls late at night. He doesn't mind leaving late at night with me to put up a sign at 11, 12 o'clock at night. Now that's kind of bizarre, but that's me because I have a big family. I care for my mom. I have my adult daughters living with me and my grandson. So I'm using my time wisely and using the resources that I have within my family to help me stay in business. So relationships are important. Everyone in my family knows, and in fact, my grandsons know, they know I'm in real estate. They talk about selling houses. So it's kind of fun to get everybody involved in it to make it fun and enjoyable and not work. It's more of a career. So that's important. And the next question, where are you in business, in your business? Now, maybe you're not in real estate. The question is, where are you in your business? Maybe your business is home, taking care of home. So to me, that's a harder business than being out here in real estate. So how are you in that business? When I started as a single parent, I took my daughter everywhere with me because getting out of the military, I wasn't really sure about daycare and everything. So I took her everywhere. In fact, after I married and had a baby in that company that I ended up becoming owner with in ERA, I was pregnant there. I had a baby and took my baby with me everywhere. And so having your family incorporated in your business is very important. And people see that you're human. I mean, it's a career, it's a business. It's, uh, People are calling me. I'm sorry. I keep seeing these calls and these texts coming through. So sorry if I keep putting my finger in front of your face, I apologize. So it's important to incorporate your family. As I said, I brought my baby at the time. Chloe is my second child. I brought her everywhere, and people would say, "Where's Chloe? Where's Chloe?" And then times that I didn't bring her, they would, want to know why I didn't bring her. And sometimes I would have resources to where I could, leave her with. At that time, my fiance, we ended up getting married, but um, so that's important to incorporate your family into your business, whatever that business is. Hopefully it's real estate, since we're talking real estate. And then other areas in your life that matter to you. Where do you stand in areas that maybe we haven't discussed? So that's part one of the clarity tool. Part two, again, I'm going to upload all of this for you. The question is, it's a year from now, so we're being visionary, forward thinking. A year from now, we're in 2021. A year from now, where are you? Where are you a year from now? I am in my own building. Right now, I'm leasing a building. I'm in my own building. In fact, I'm part owner of that building. I have a partner. So that's my forward thinking vision for myself a year from now. Where are you a year from now? So think about where you stand and where you see yourself, because I'm a believer that as a man thinketh, so is he. So if you think it, you can achieve it. If you believe it, you can achieve it. But you need to think about, where do you see yourself a year from now? And if you want to put that in the chat, that's cool. If not, that's fine. Where are you going to be a year from now? Next question. Again, it kind of goes back to some of those first questions. Where are you now in your health? I talked about I needed to lose a few pounds. So if a year from now, if I'm still weighing the same thing, then I haven't really taken care of myself, because I know and understand my body that for my own health, I do need to exercise more. I do need to eat better, and I need to lose some weight. So that's me. You, whatever your health issues are, I also need to ensure that I take care of these teeth. I had a lady tell me, "Are those your teeth?" I said, "Yeah, they're my teeth." She said, "Did you buy them?" It's like, "No, I didn't buy them." She kept looking at me, and I said, "No, these are all my teeth. The only teeth I don't have are my wisdom teeth, and I had those pulled." But anyway, I digress. So how are you in your health a year from now? Again, I plan to have all my teeth, being able to celebrate a few sales. Woohoo! Yes, I'll celebrate with you. Yes, that would be great to have a few sales. I plan to have more people on my team, so that people are selling, as part of my team. That would be great, because I like the teaching, training, coaching. I do like working with clients. I also like helping, mentoring young brokers, which is why I'm doing this free Rookie Realtor Challenge. And then the next question is, a year from now, again, where are you seeing yourself with your finances? The first answer on where you are currently, um, maybe you're in a good place right now, maybe you're not. And to be in a better place, let's see, where would I want to be a year from now? I'll just give you an example. I want to be able to, and I was able to do that this year, I want to be able to send someone on a trip, a nice trip. I sent a friend of mine home to see her parents, because she lost her husband, so I paid for her tickets to go home. So I'm able to do that now, but next year I want to be able to send someone, a deserving person, maybe someone on my team, who knows? I'd like to send someone on a nice trip. I mean, a trip that maybe to Disneyland. I don't know. Disneyland is supposed to be really fun. I've gone to Disneyland and I've gone to Disney World, and I didn't like all the lines, but I'm sure it's a little different now with post-COVID. So I'd like to be able to send someone on a trip. So we're talking a year from now goals. So what do you want to do financially next year to be in a better position? I want to be able to save more and put away some in 401k, uh, more investment, more diversification, and syndication. That's another thing. That's on me though. That's something that I want to do. I want to syndicate. If you don't know what syndicate is, think about television shows, how you see the same show over and over and over again. I want to be able to duplicate housing, multifamily over and over and over again. I would like to fund a vacation without looking at price tag. I agree. Amen to that. I want to be able to do that too. So that is the goal a year from now with finances. Next, ooh, Bali. Ooh, wow, that's big dollars. Okay, you said without looking at the price tag. So without looking at the price tag, wow. Then that means I need to be able to go to Bali if I'm going to send somebody to Bali. So I'm going to put that in my visual forecast picture. Maybe I'll even create a dream board and put some of those exotic places on there. Okay, a year from now, where do you want to be in your business? This kind of goes along with where are you a year from now? Where do you want to be in your business? I think I kind of mentioned some of it. I'd like to be in my own building instead of leasing, paying someone else's rent. I'm a believer in ownership, home ownership. I do know a lot of brokers, realtors that don't own their own home. And for me, I have an integrity issue with if I'm going to be in this business, I'm going to be in this business. So not only do I own a home, but I invest in homes. I've, invested, I've lost, I've kind of done it all. So if you have any question about those experiences, I'll be happy to share them with you. But right now, we're talking about where do you want to be a year from now in your business? We kind of mentioned a couple of sales under your belt. I'd like to have a broader team. I'd like to own the real estate that I'm serving clients in. Although real estate's changed so much with COVID, we don't really meet many people in the office anymore. I just met a client. I'm about to list her home. She wanted to meet me at Cutter's Point. Cutter's Point is right down the street from my office. So instead of coming to my office, she wanted to go to Cutter's Point. But hey, she's the client. So we met at Cutter's Point. We had coffee. I had my laptop with me. I did everything on a computer. Then she went home to sign the contracts. She didn't feel comfortable with the Wi-Fi connections and people having her information. So I understand that. And plus, she's an older lady, and she said passwords are a lot easier to save. Okay, I gotta see how I'm doing on time. Okay, a few more minutes. Okay, so we are toward the end of the Clarity Tool. One last question on the Clarity Tool. Other areas of your life that matter to you, where do you want to be a year from now? So think about those things. Where do you want to be a year from now? I actually have one more page, and it looks like I have enough time for this one more page for the Clarity Tool. So what I love about this part of the Clarity Tool is it takes you deeper and deeper and deeper. So on the surface, you might think, oh, this is what I want to do. But then when you're asked the next question, it kind of touches you at the heart level, and you think, okay, what's really at the heart of why I want to be in this industry? Why am I making this career choice? Why am I feeling that there's more to it than what meets the eye? So here we go. First question, level 1. Again, you will get this. I will upload it. Level 1. What is important to you about becoming successful? Oh, I love that. Chandra say, venture into owning a small business. I love that. So level 1 question on going deeper, because we're going deeper now. What is important to you about becoming successful? On the surface, becoming successful could mean you're able to take care of family. I'm just going to throw that one out there. But that's something I said. Think about it for yourself. What's important to you about becoming successful? So you want to personalize it for yourself. The next question is, why is it important to you? So whatever your response is, and you can give me a response if you like to, but whatever your response is to the first question about why it's important to you to be successful, you want to answer the second question based on the first answer. Why is that important to you? So the first question I said, family. Family is important about becoming successful because I feel I can provide family and friends. Okay, and then why is that important to you? Because I care. Okay, I'll just leave mine's brief. Care, whatever you want to put down. And then the third question is, why is that important to you? So you see a pattern here. So the first one, why is it important? About becoming successful. Next question, why is that important to you? Third question, why is that important to you? So write these down if you're able to. Just don't think about it a whole lot, because if you think about it a whole lot, it's not really coming from the heart, it's coming from the head. So just write down the first answer that comes to your head, right? First answer that comes to your head, because we're going to get deeper. So you got the first one, you got the second one, you got the third one. Now the fourth one, why is that important to you? Why is it important to you? Wow, to set an example for my daughter, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Okay, so we're at the fourth level about why is it important to you. And I'm not sure if your answer, Chandra, say was the fourth level, but we're going to go a little deeper. Fifth one, why is it important to you? So I said family, care, and then my fourth one was provision. Now we're on level 5. Ouch, level 5. Woo. Level 5. Write down whatever. Let me think. I put to give. Okay, so that was my level 5. Okay, level 6. Level 6. Oh, so she's self-reliant. I love it. I love it. Okay, level 6. Specifically, why is it important to you? It almost sounds like the same question, but it's a little different. So it's asking for specifically. I was attempting to say I won't even do that. Specifically, why is it important to you? Why is it important to you? Okay. So I'm thinking about my answer too. New. I'm doing this all new again. I've done it, but I'm doing it all new again. So my first one was family. Second one was care. Third one was provision. Fourth one was to be a giver. Fifth one is philanthropy. Sixth one, specifically, why is it important to you? Okay, I'm going to say, so if anyone has a need and I have the resources, I can give. Okay, so that's my number 6. Now we have one more. I love that. Validation. I raise a decent human. Ooh, that's good. Yeah, because raising a decent human is important for our society at large. Yes. Okay, last one, level 7. So you said validation, that you raise a decent, that's specifically. Now, level 7, why is that important to you? So why is it important to you to raise a decent human? And why is it important to me that if anyone has a need, I can, and I have the resources I can give? Because I know what it's like to not have. Oh, yes. I know what it's like. Okay, so if you've ever been without, it's very, very easy to, very easy to imagine what it would be like if you didn't have it. And so I'd like to take that problem off the table for people, certain people that I'm called to do. And so we'll take the last few minutes, number 1, to see if there's any questions. I will upload the Clarity tool. I'll do a quick recap, and then I'll give you some homework. I love giving homework. Okay, so your homework, let's see what happened. Your homework for tonight will be to go live in this Facebook group. And all I want you to say is to share one takeaway, at least one takeaway from tonight. Now, going live in this group is probably the most intimidating thing you'll do, but I'll just say it's only for this group. So your post won't be in your regular page unless you choose to put it there. And so it's important to use the mediums that we have at our disposal to grow and scale our businesses. And so if you're thinking about real estate, I've used this medium for communicating with clients and customers. I use this medium to introduce myself during COVID when people were afraid to meet face to face. And it's still somewhat in that realm where people are just not sure if they should come into the office or meet you face to face right away. So still a little bit of that going on. So what I'd like you to do is you go right into this Facebook group and you push the live button. It's got a little camera button. You push that, you go live. After you go live, you just put day 1 right above. It gives you an option where you can put a note. Day 1, you don't have to write the whole thing out, free Rookie Realtor Challenge. You could just do day 1, Rookie Realtor Challenge, RRC. How's that? Day 1, RRC. That's it. That's your homework to go live before tomorrow night, because we will do this again tomorrow night. So my homework will be to upload the Clarity tool so that you could see it, save it, use it as a resource for yourself. Okay, hopefully you'll remember what we talked about early on, but I'll give you a brief recap. We talked about my story, my journey when I first got into real estate. My biggest takeaways were having a mentor, and my mentor happened to be people in the office that I saw that were actually moving, producing, making money, making a living at real estate. There was a lot of activity going on in the office, but I will say there were only a few people that I really looked at and could say, that's who I want to emulate or I want to learn from. And in this industry, you can look around. You can look all over Facebook. You can Google different people and find out who's doing real estate, who did good their first couple of years, or who is the best rookie realtor. You can find those things and look in those, look at those pages, look at those groups, and find a mentor or see what a mentor looks like. Who would you want to emulate? And then database. We talked about database. That's your ticket to your future. Your database is your ticket to your future. And that only consists of 3 things: a name, a phone number, and an email address. I'll call it the ABCs of real estate. It's the basic. People that have been in the industry for a long time still don't use a database. They don't realize that they're letting most of their business go down the toilet because they're not cultivating the garden. It's like, like a farmer cultivates their garden. I don't know what's happening out there. I'm hearing loud noises. Okay, so that was my recap. You know my story. Do you have any questions of me? I thank you for staying on with me for the full hour. I want to give you the full hour. And if you find this time is too late, I can back up my next challenge and maybe do it at 7. I'll probably take a poll at the end and see what people think in terms of the time. But before I did an early challenge during the middle of the day, and I found it to be very disruptive with my business, with my family, with the calls. And I'm still getting a little bit of disruption with people calling, but it's not nearly as hectic or busy as it is during the day. And I'm in my office, it's quiet outside of the loud noise we just heard outside. I don't know if that was a tire backfire or what. But thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. And if you're listening to this in the recording, do the homework. Just go live in this group. Make sure you go in this group and hit the little live button. It's where you post. Don't just post something. Put yourself, there is favor in your face. So show your face. As you may know, if you've ever looked at any of my posts, I'm not one about prettying myself up. I am the way I am. So I saw I had a post with my husband and my scarf all on my head. I was like, wow, okay, but that's me. Sometimes I have my scarf on my head and it's late at night. So however you want to show up, show up. Have clothes on, but show up, okay? All right, thank you so much for being here. Let's see how we're doing on time. Are there any questions? You got about 2-3 minutes. Is there any questions that anyone has about anything that I shared thus far? Database, mentorships, you're welcome. You're welcome. I appreciate it. You are funny. I love your answers too, Chandra say. Your answers are great. They are great. Yeah. I want to be able to do this on YouTube because I've seen people do it on YouTube and it's just fascinating. However, I just got to get my technology together. So looking forward to sharing more tomorrow. I will do my homework. As Ayanla Van Zandt says, do your work. Okay? You do your work and I'll do my work. And then we'll all come together. It'll be good. All right. Thank you. Have a great night. Unless I see another question, I will go ahead and sign off. I'm going to pause the video though.